What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. As you can see, we're in the PvE DZ, about to go down to this heroic landmark right here. And the reason I'm showing you a heroic landmark is because obviously I'm in here by myself. And I want to show you that this build can take care of itself and clear out the landmarks. And, you know, if there's nobody else in the PvE DZ with you at that time, you can actually take care of it and, yeah, have no problems at all. So let's get straight into it. I think I've got the wrong global modifier on actually, so we won't use that for the moment. But you do have to take your time a little bit. You know, I have got a lot of armor on there, but it depends. Well, it depends, to be honest. Like, I'm not too familiar with the spawns in here. I know they can come from there. I know they can come from over there. I've done this a few times now. But yeah, or multiples just like that. So I do tend to play a little bit further back. And I'm taking the easy option today. I'm using the St. Elmo. Which I say easy option. Oh, as a player, oh no. But yeah, I'm taking the easy option a little bit.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Just to get through. Let's hope we can kind of get some more one-on-one action.
Now detecting contaminated.
Straight to the body shops. No messing. But as you can see, we got plenty of armor. Oh, our friend is down. Oh, he's getting up though. He's okay. Now, what I would use with this would be the active modifier. I would use Invincible. I talked about it in a previous video. Make sure you're using the surge effect, and then that way then you don't take the full 100% damage. You only take the 80%. But as you can see, yeah, no real stress. And when our armor does go down, it comes back very, very, very quickly. You just got to play back a little bit and you'll be good. So let me get to somewhere safe and we'll go through the build. Alright, now we're chilling at the checkpoint. We can go through the build. Okay, so there's a couple of options here and it totally depends on how easy of a time you want or how much damage that you want to put out. Starting off with the gun that we are using. You saw me using the St. Elmo. That does take away the option of being able to use the Whiplash. So it totally depends if you're using the Whiplash or not, because the Whiplash does stop you from reloading, therefore saving on your munitions. So there is that to think about as well. But if you're playing in the DZ a lot and you're not bothered about losing your munitions, then just go with the quick step or the faster run, because as you can see, we still get a movement speed in the PvE DZ. Primary gun I was using was the St. Elmo because it works really nice. We get the shock ammo quite often. You can see that we still get that. We only get 10% though, but it's still noticeable. This thing's like a laser beam. There's a lot of long range play in the DZ as well. But essentially, you can just pick whichever gun you want here. I flip between the St. Elmo's engine and the gear shift. I love them both. They do not need to be prototype. Nothing I'm showing you now, even though it might look prototype, nothing works at the stats of prototype. As you can see, everything is drilled down to the high-end version. Second gun, I've gone with the interchange because I hot swap for the buff. Damage can be rough in the PvE DZ. That's why I've been putting out a few builds around it. So we're playing into the PvP side of balancing and taking damage buffs where we wouldn't normally take them in the PvE light zone. This being an exception though, I use this in both. So it doesn't actually matter if you use the perfect version or not. They're exactly the same when it comes to PvP balancing. I just have this in the build because if I use it outside of the PvE DZ, I get more of a buff. Just to take a quick look at the stats, you can see here we're at 55 crit chance and 96% critical hit damage and 75% headshot damage. You can see everything's coloured in here, which means we are looking at PvP stats, which are what applied to our gear in the PvE Darkzone. Next up, I'm using the Investor because I want the armor regen. And the other two come off quite nice. But to be honest, the armor regen is the stat that I'm really after. If you've got a blue core attribute here, that's absolutely fine as well. I'm running 2 blues, but I wouldn't mind running 3 blues as core attributes. Totally mix that up to how you feel and how your gameplay feels. But weapon damage, armor regen, and I've got another 2 blues there because I get an extra 0.5% armor regen, which just comes in really, really handy, especially if you've run out of armor kits or anything like that. That actually builds up quite fast. Second, we're going to use the Liquid Engineer. I absolutely love this thing in the PvE DZ because they made a change to the talent. Every kill we get 33% bonus armor, which is why you see our armor come back so quick. And although yes, it's bonus armor, the regen that we're getting from the mask then starts to build up as well at the same time, and it all just synergizes really nice for getting your armor back or being within loads of bonus armor and not necessarily having to worry too much. But all reds across the board for the other parts, crit chance, crit damage, because that's enough survivability at that point. We just need a lot of damage. And what else puts out a ton of damage? Well, ongoing directive does. So as you can see here, we get reload speed, handy if you're going to use something like I mentioned before, the gear shift, you'll reload much quicker. But it's great for the team as well, and not running out of ammo because we regenerate a hollow point ammo a lot. We're using the chest piece because it gives us a 20% amp damage boost, which is really, really nice. And if we scroll down here, we still get 38% amp damage, which is really high for anything in the PvP area of the game, and is great for this. And don't forget, obviously, that's just for us, doesn't apply to team members, but the bonus up here, the 20%, applies to our team members as well. So if they're running a PvP balanced build in here, they're going to get a significant damage boost. One little nice item to note, if you are running prototype gear, although none of it works in here, the augments don't work, the augments will still level up. So if you're using gear that has augments on and you want to level them up and not feel like you're wasting your time too much, if you use your augmented gear, you will actually be able to level them up at the same time. Next, we're going gloves, and essentially I just needed crit chance and crit damage everywhere. So crit damage for my gloves, crit chance for my knees, and then my holster is where I wrapped in another blue and went with crit chance. And what is a little bit difficult is you actually have to go and farm ongoing directives, so you have to go countdown or targeted loot retaliation or something like that, because unfortunately we don't have them as blueprints still. It's a little bit baffling why we've not got these as blueprints yet, but we don't. But yeah, this works out really well, and you've got a lot of options on how you can interchange things around here. You don't have to use the investor if you don't want to. You could perhaps think about using a tinkerer. You could perhaps think about using the catharsis. Both work very, very well. And like I said, you've got some options here. I definitely wanted the armor regen, and although, you know, this is 1.5% armor regen because it's got all 3, that is pretty good. But if you are dropping potentially the explosive resistance for some extra crit chance or crit damage, I wouldn't blame you. It would still work really, really well. And that is going to be it for the video. I hope this helps you out. I know the PvE DZ can be a little bit tough, but we've just got to pay attention to those PvP stats a little bit more. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you running an ongoing directive build? I'd love to see it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, agents, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Extraction.